You are listening to Fantha Tracks.
It's time to head south with the Fantha From Down Under. Here are your hosts, Adam O'Brien and Paul Naylor.
We do have, somebody chiming in. Oh, would you look at that? It's somebody who's actually given us a joke to tell on air. So here we go, folks. What do you call a Sith Lord that's just had meatloaf and leaves a stain? You call him Darth Vapor.
I always feel like after I've had a show with you, Adam, that I need therapy.
And more than one session, I can tell you. Folks, we're heading into the news now, and the big one is a rather sad one because I've always followed this magazine for a while. That is, of course, Star Wars Insider is sadly finishing its run this year. So if you're somebody that regularly got those once a month when they came out, they're no longer going to be available, sadly. You know, the printing world is starting to become smaller.
Yeah, it's a couple of more issues to go, I believe. I don't think there's, it's only just going to go into this year. And obviously, our good friend Mark Newbold is a regular contributor for the magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he says, I mean, we're getting less and less official content for Star Wars.
Yep.
The Star Wars show that used to be online, that used to be great. And that went from being like a weekly show to sporadic to non-existent. So the only place that you're going to get information from that's official, in inverted commas, will be StarWars.com. You know, not being overly critical, but because they obviously have to go through compliance measures and all sorts of things that we know about 6 weeks before it actually appears on StarWars.com, it just feels a bit stale and a bit old. But yeah, it's a sad day because I remember collecting Star Wars Insider many years ago. I haven't of late. But yeah, it was always a good read. And I actually read stuff that Mark had put in there before I knew who Mark was. So that was kind of weird when we met him and he goes, yeah, I regularly write for Star Wars Insider. Sorry, you do what? It was almost sort of like a fanboy experience kind of thing. But yeah, it's a sad day, mate. It really is.
Oh, exactly. I mean, the thing is, like, that was something I was always, hoping for the special things that we saw here or there, like there's episodes in that, the great thing on the short stories, there was stuff in the books, small catalogs of the toys that are coming out. It's a different time when we're getting rid of something like that out of the lines, but it is sad. But sadly, folks, we are all moving. Hard media is moving that way too. Now, the other big one is, of course, we've got Star Wars Starfighter here. Now, there's some rumors going around, which we're going to talk about in a second. Now, what we do know of the plot so far, that you could say it's not spoiler, is that Ryan Gosling plays a character that's very Han Solo-like. Rey's going to be in it to some extent, I would say, towards the end of the film, maybe. The bad guy in this is Matt Smith, guy who's doing a fantastic job on House of the Dragon, playing Daemon right now. And, of course, who is he? Who? He is Doctor Who as well. And he has no eyebrows. Why doesn't he have eyebrows? I do not know. Sorry, Matt. I do love you, mate. You're a good fella, Matt Smith. You're cool. But you got some funky eyebrows missing. But that's what we know. But I would say this is speculation at this point, but consider this rumor at best. And I don't think this is something that Disney will potentially do. But Amy Adams is playing the Force-sensitive mother to the character in this. And that Amy's character is a Jedi who we may know from the original series, Mara Jade.
I think purely because she's a redhead, people are making that assumption. But I'd be on board with that. Star Wars Starfighter is a strange one because for me, as soon as the title came up, the first thing that I imagined was something like an A-wing or an X-wing. But I mean, a starfighter, I suppose. I mean, I know the Falcon's classed as a light freighter or whatever, but starfighter could be the person rather than the ship.
They should have done it years ago, like when somebody was still acting before he retired, and you could have had Star Wars Starfighters.
Could even be his surname. Luke was going to be called Starkiller, became Skywalker. I am Trevor Starfighter. So Even better. Even better than that, mate. They call me Starfighter. Keith Starfighter.
That's such an Aussie name. Imagine an American name. Be like, my name's Jim Bob. Jim Bob who? Jim Bob Starfighter. Get on that tractor, Jill. You still got that corn over there to get.
Sat there with a jar of blue milk. Man, this stuff's good. After all this sort of like this talk about it being a ship, could be a surname.
I think it's an interesting rumor, and I would have always gone Julia Roberts.
That would be a good shout.
So long as she doesn't go Aaron Brockovich on it. Hey, you don't do that, sister.
Or as long as she doesn't start going Pretty Woman as well.
Folks, I tell you.
But yeah, I mean, I do like the idea of tying in Ray into the story right at the very end, and that could be the reason why whenever Daisy's asked, when are we going to get these Ray movies? Don't worry, it's all coming till it'll all be there in good time. Yeah, I like that idea. So and then off the back of that, they'll announce the Ray movies.
My name is Dean Charles Chapman, and you're listening to Fantha Tracks.
So the other thing we're going to talk about, folks, I just want to see Mandalorians kicking ass.
We were talking about this on Good Morning Tatooine. That's what Brian wants to see more than anything is park Grogu to one side. You go and stay with Pelimoto for a couple of weeks. I'm off out to kick ass. His favourite thing from the trailer is when that guy gets kicked into the bar. My favourite bit is, good shot, baby. But then that's me, I just like a bit of cutesy stuff,
I just want to see what, like the Mandalorian action. That's why I went to watch that first season, and it delivered. It delivered. And then, of course, too many cooks in the kitchen, folks. That's why John Carter failed.
Oh.
Tron, you don't put Jared Leto in Tron. You don't do that. Oh, I'm dying. I'm sorry. That's not acting, Jared.
Yeah.
That's called reading the script loud.
The Mandalorian did give us probably one of my favourite Star Wars moments ever, right at the end of season 2 when you get Luke.
Oh, yes.
And the build-up for that was beautiful, wasn't it? And there can't be many people our age, Adam, that didn't have a tear in their eye when they saw that episode, because it was
100%, brother. It
was redemption for Mark Hamill and for Luke, wasn't it? Really.
If you imagine somebody that was on that set of that 8th film and there wasn't a yes man, because they literally just had Rick McCallums everywhere. Yes. Oh, I love you, Rome. Yes. And that's, what do we think about it?
Oh dear. So thanks to the Mandalorian. We have had some quality moments, but yeah, I'm a bit like you. Obviously, I'll go and watch it at the cinema. Of course I will. But do I think it's going to be great? I don't.
You're waiting for the Real War movie, and that's coming in December 2026, directed by Denis Villeneuve.
Go on, what is it? Oh,
3.
No.
Yes.
No.
The war. No wars. Dune Messiah.
I'd never seen Dune before, right? I'd never seen that awful version with Sting in it, and I'd never seen the first of the new trilogy until one drunken night with a bunch of my old schoolmates. We were staying in a house in Oxfordshire, and you can Google this place. We were actually staying in the Shark House. Now it's called the Shark House because in the roof, if you stood out in the street on the roof, you can see a shark embedded in the roof, a full-size shark. You go in the house; it's just an ordinary house. We'd been out. We'd had a load of beers. And one of them suggested putting Dune on. I was horrified, and only because it was like watching George Lucas's Notebook for Star Wars. It was like everything I thought I knew about Star Wars. A lot of it has come from this, because this predates Star Wars by quite some time. The story, and it was like, oh no, you're breaking my heart. But I think you're a bit of a Dune fan.
Just a tiny little bit.
I did know.
And did George maybe steal a few things? Maybe he did, but you know what? We love both of them, folks. Now, the last little bit of info we've got here, folks, is an interesting one. It is Star Wars upcoming projects, and this is now updated. So just going to quickly go through just some of the items that are coming out. Obviously, we've had Andor, but what we've got now is May 22. We've got Grogu movie coming out, the Maul Shadow Lord series. Now, this one's got me interested. I've always loved Maul. Now, here's where I'm a little bit different. I like Sam Witwer. Look what he's done. But I really like Peter Serafinowicz. There you go. I did it. Serafinowicz. Anyway. We shall go for hamburgers afterwards. Yeah, that guy. He's pretty good. Sam is top bloke. And shout out to Michael, his brother, which we know well. Champion, Dungeons and Dragons, author, and just all around cool guy. He's a nice guy. So big shout out to him. But I've got to say, that's a series I want to see match up to what they were planning to do, I guess, in Solo and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And who knows, we might even see the introduction of some existing characters as well. But I would love to have seen it as live action. That would have been great. But then, whether Ray Park would be up for that, I don't know.
The one thing that Ray does, he does a lot of fitness stuff. So he's always going to be, he's somebody that's a wushu martial artist. To me, it's somebody that was on the other side of martial arts. I was not a Chinese stylist. I teach primarily Budo art, so Japanese and Okinawan. Obviously, our arts come from China too. Like we obviously melded that with what the Okinawans had. So I've got a really deep appreciation for wushu, and it's not easy. That stuff's really hard to pull off, and his acrobatics is really good, even to this day.
Phantom Menace, it feels like yesterday, but it was a century ago.
Exactly.
Can't really have Darth Maul creaking too much, although you could put that down to the metallic legs.
Here's the thing that I've always had about the animation and the live action, and they are going to cancel each other. It's something that Paul Bateman said years ago. Canon's only canon until somebody has a better idea.
Yeah.
Same with the books, same with everything. Like, look at the Marvel ones. The original Marvel's got overrun by Dark Horse, and then all the Dark Horse that I personally think is better than is now superseded by, and so it should, because the rights holders change or whatever it is, fair enough. But sorry, Dark Horse is way better. And I can still read my legacy Star Wars with Cade Skywalker and enjoy it. A drug riddled Force user who just happens to be the coolest Skywalker out there, bro. But what's almost the coolest thing out of all of that is the fact that all that we love is there. And somehow, even with the new stuff that's happening, they're getting elements of that out there. Because you got people like Filoni who, at heart, they're like us, man. They've got a real heart for this stuff.
They're first and foremost, they're fans.
Yeah, this is why we're getting things like, obviously, Starfighter's one, but we're also getting an animated Star Wars Vision Presents The Ninth Jedi, which I don't know too much about, to be honest, but that's stuff I'm pretty happy with,
I think it's been crying out for that. I mean, Visions is a great little sort of selection box, if you like. But sooner or later, and like you say, with The Ninth Jedi, we're finally getting this. Sooner or later, they were always going to make a series out of one of those projects. So that'll be interesting to see. It'll let it breathe a bit more as well, because the problem is when you're doing just like a one-shot, you've got to cram the whole story into like 20, 25 minutes. When they're doing a series, that'll be interesting.
For everything in one location, daily news, reviews, interviews, podcasts, video, and social media feeds, bookmark FanthaTracks.com for Star Wars news 24/7, 365.
We've got Ahsoka Season 2, which we talked about in the last episode. Taika Waititi's movie is still in development. We don't know much about that. The one I'm really pumped for, and it's in development, it's definitely green lit at this stage. It is James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi movie. Again, we don't know too much. We know it's going to tie into the place marker inside the temple on Ahch-To, which actually is one of the better things that they did in that film, I've got to say. It is a brilliant sort of way of bringing things together. We've also got Mando vs. New Republic movie on the way. We've got Charmin Obaid Chinoy's new Jedi movie it is on the shelf, sadly. You have to progress the Jedi somehow after what they've done. Who knows what they're going to do. Simon Kinberg's got an entire trilogy. They're just giving out tickets to Star Wars pretty much, aren't they, at this stage? Yeah. They're crazy. We've got Carlton and Nick Hughes' Star Wars series, whatever the hell that is. I have no idea what that is. We've got a Rogue Squadron movie that status is currently MIA, missing in action. They don't know what's going on. Mandalorian Season 4 and the Book of Boba Fett Season 2 status Who the hell knows? Lando movie, status unknown. Who the hell knows? Rangers of the New Republic TV series. I'd say it's pretty much cancelled. Here's the cancelled ones. J.D. Dillard and Matt Owens movie. Who the hell they are? They are not doing it. Our mate David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. Star Wars movie is not happening. Game of Thrones guys. Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie. Cancelled. And the last one, of course, Ryan Johnson's trilogy. Yeah. Is it happening? Is it happening? No, it's not. So, all right, folks, that's the news. I found an interesting article all about John Jackson Miller. Now, John is not only a great Star Wars author, he's also a dear pal as well. I've been good mates with John for a little while now. And his work is it's something I've enjoyed both in Star Trek, Star Wars, and now Batman. This guy's been around for a while. He's pretty good.
So name some of the Star Wars projects that he's been involved with.
The big one is the most current, massive one is The Living Force, which is one that's sort of set around basically Phantom Menace, I guess you say. Knights of the Old Republic, the old comic series, is probably his first big one. He was the writer of that comic series for Dark Horse back in the day. Also, he worked on Knight Errant as well. Along with that, he did the novel Kenobi, which is probably the big one.
Yeah, a lot of people love that.
You would never have a Kenobi series if it wasn't for John Jackson Miller. You know, he really dug out how to do a Western style thing with that, character. You know, it really built that into it. He's also worked with the Knights of the Republic campaign guide with the Star Wars RPGs. He's done the Comics Chronicles. He's also worked on Crimson Dino for Marvel Comics and led to a run on Iron Man as well. So with that too, he also wrote the comic adaptation of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And he also has worked on, of course, Star Trek now. I've covered a lot of it on Making Treks with Mark, of course. But the big one that he started with was Takedown. It is a follow-on from an episode of TNG, which a certain character of the A-Team was on. Right. Can you guess what character?
Not Mr. T, surely.
No, it wasn't us, Mr. T, so that's one down. 3 to go.
I'm not going to say it was Dirk Benedict because of it.
It wasn't. No.
Dwight Schultz?
Dwight Schultz, that's right. Yeah, Dwight Schultz played a crazy in it. He's going to play the same characters, I'm sure.
Stereotypical.
Stereotypical. Because he's Murdoch. He's crazy. He's a nutter. Takedown's a great, great novel. But then, of course, he did the start of the entire new sort of restart of Star Wars with A New Dawn, which gives us the background of the new cartoon series, Star Wars Rebels. And that was great, learning all about, those characters. And, I mean, that was an interesting time. That's when things are on the up, and we didn't know that things were going to go, throw the saber. Can you imagine you would have told yourself back in 2014, 2015, before Force Awakens comes out, we're going to wait all this time, and then Luke's just going to that.
No.
No, because we love that movie. Well, really? But we love that movie.
Do you have such thing as pantomimes down in Australia?
Oh, I think we do.
Oh, no, you don't.
And that was a great story to sort of kick it off. Had a bit of Star Wars Jedi stuff in it, but it was just different,
Yeah.
And that's what I love about that character. Now, that brings us to The Living Force, which is the most recent one I've read of his. I haven't read a lot of Star Wars novels of recent years, apart from John's work and Timothy Zahn's new work with, of course, Thrawn.
Yeah.
They're worth it because of the time that we have already spent, reading their novels and stuff like that. The Living Force, though, is an interesting one because it's set in and around the year before Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. It came out 2 years ago, folks, but I got the trade paperback, not the hardcover, and it's an interesting idea. In the year before The Phantom Menace, Yoda, Mace Windu, and the entire Jedi Council confront a galaxy on the brink of change. The Jedi have always traveled the stars, defending peace and justice across the galaxy. But the galaxy is changing, and along with it, the Jedi Order. Now they're going Scottish more and more. The Order finds itself focused on the future of the Celts and the Republic. Secluded on Coruscant, where the 12 murders of the Jedi Council weigh crisis on a galactic scale. And now, I'll turn to South Africa, as yet another Jedi outpost left over from the Republic's golden age is set to be decommissioned on the planet Quen. Qui-Gon Jinn challenges the Council about the increasing isolation of the Order. Mace Windu suggests a bold response to get Australians to say the rest of it. All 12 Jedi Masters will embark on a goodwill mission to help the planet and remind the people of the galaxy that Jedi remain as stalwart and present as they have always been across the ages. But the arrival of the Jedi leadership is not seen by all as a cause for celebration. Warring pirate factions, have invested the sector of the increasing absence of the Jedi. cut up from the Coruscant. The Jedi Masters, must reckon them with an unwelcome truth that no one thinks about the future of the Jedi Council.
Just before you offend the whole of the English-speaking world, folks, that went from Australian to Scottish via South Africa, back to the UK, to the US. It was a beautiful thing.
And, look, the great thing about this is we know the period. We know that Palpatine's cooking things up with his master, one that looks like his head's been squashed in with 2 barricades, and it's interesting. It's an interesting time. And, the book itself, I give a solid 4 out of 5.
I think this is 4 out of 10. So by my maths, that's 8 out of 10.
That's an 8 out of 10. No, definitely go and check it out, folks. An interesting period.
Hi, it's John Jackson Miller, author of The Living Force, and you're listening to Fantha Tracks.
Last but not least, folks, we've got a few gags for you.
Bracing myself for this. Here we go.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, which Star Wars character travels around the world?
Go on.
Oh, Globy One Kenobi. Why are there no stairs in the Death Star?
Go on.
Because everyone uses the elevator.
Dear me. You have Christmas crackers in Australia as well.
Oh, no. Which Star Wars character lives in Florida? Come on, you should be able to get this.
I've got this. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready? Orlando Calrissian.
Oh, you nailed it. Buddy. That's the one. What did Obi-Wan say at the rodeo?
The Last Jedi is bull.
Yeah, he said that too. What he really said was, use the horse, Luke. Oh, folks, I tell you. But that's all of us from here, of course, at Fantha Tracks, the Fantha From Down Under. Go and check us out. Fantha Tracks, Star Wars using a single file. And, of course, Paul, mate, you're a champion. Thank you so much again for joining us here in the co-pilot chair.
Always a pleasure.
Riding shotgun with the best, mate. That's what we're doing. But before we leave, I've got a question for you. Who was the first Star Wars character you got as an action figure?
My first one was Luke Skywalker. What about yourself?
I think the first one I got was actually 3PO.
Right, okay.
Because I remember going to a Coles supermarket. My mum didn't know the difference between Buck Rogers and Star Wars. Now, Star Wars was at that stage where everyone was just grabbing them off the shelves. And it wasn't quite rare yet, but, it was hard because – and then there was Buck Rogers right next to it in that black and white, the thing. And Mum goes, oh, here you go. Here's Buck. I went, come and think of it. I should have got the Buck anyway because it would have been worth even more now. It's worth more than Star Wars figures, man. Don't you want his jet fighter? I went, oh, no, I want an X-Wing. Come to think of it, can I rewind time? Hey, Mum, get me the jet fighter.
Yeah.
I think back on those. But, 3PO was mine.
See, now those two could have got together and had quite an adventure.
Oh, I know.
Skywalker's got a bit of a wobbly head, but other than that, he's in pretty good shape.
Did you have the little thing up the arm? He goes, whoop, 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 whoop.
Oh, yeah, he's got the whoop, whoop. He's got all the whoop, whoop. He's got a replacement one. He hasn't got his original. But, and those tips, those stupid, crazy tips, they were always...
Yeah, what the hell was with that? It's almost like the Buck Rogers corgis that didn't have the sharp points. They had a little bar on it. I'm just looking at that, and it was never in the show. We don't want you to poke your eyes out, son. What, with the lightsaber? Yes, don't know. I swear all old people used to talk like that in the 80s. It was always...
I thought you were doing your Birmingham accent again.
A big thanks to all of you out there listening tonight, and huge thanks to good old Alan that gave us the joke earlier tonight too. And mate, there'll be more of that.
Yeah, there will.
Well, that's all we have time for here tonight on the Fantha From Down Under. And we'll catch you next time, same place, same channel, and of course with more Star Wars using a single file from FanthaTracks.com's Australian edition. That's right, we'll catch you next time. So, until then, may the Force be with you, and enjoy your Star Wars fandom. We'll see you next time.
Warning, no Tauntauns were harmed in the filming and recording of this podcast.
Coming up next on Fantha Tracks Radio, it's Making Tracks.